Hello Mike, we've got the transmission out of your 03 R3500. This is what it looks like when it's all apart. I'll go over some things with you, and Eric or Amanda will contact you with cost estimates on both the recondition and the repair. When we look at the pan, first thing off, we can see on top of that magnet, that's too much material. So this is all metal, of course, that's on top of there, so that's obviously too much metal. When we look at the torque converter, you can see this blue line here that goes around the converter. As you can see, it keeps going around and around. There's some more over here going around. That's an indication that the torque converter clutch has been slipping inside the converter, which of course we're going to say is what has happened. The direct clutch, which is going to be on for third and reverse. This is what the friction should look like. Should be a nice uniform color, and your steel should be uniform as well. When we get to this friction, there's a black line here, which indicates a little bit of slippage. This steel plate, you can see the blue line here, a little bit of slippage, and there's your black line again. So we know that this clutch has been slipping a little bit. It's not failed, but it definitely has been slipping a little bit. The forward clutch comes on for all the forward gears. It looks okay. Our overdrive planetary, it looks okay. This will be our front planetary here. That setup looks okay. Rear planetary is going to be this guy over here. It looks okay, along with our sun gear as well. The washers that go on the back side of this planetary, there is a different design washer that resists wear a little bit better. This is the washer that I'm talking about. A little indication of wear, but really not that bad. On a repair, we'd reuse it. On the recondition, we would normally use that new style washer I was talking about. This is the overdrive clutch. Same thing, no real slippage there. The overdrive direct clutch, same thing, no real slippage there. Low reverse band, same situation, no real slippage there. This is the band that comes on for second gear. You can see the black lines on there. So there is a little bit of slippage there, which is quite normal. There's an updated band that is a green lining that just resists the wear much better. It's just a much better quality band. When we get to the valve body, we've got a governor solenoid, which is this one here, and the transducer are both prone to failure. So we're always going to recommend replacing those to combat any future problems. On the recondition, we would actually put some different design valves. If I flip this over, this is your manual valve. On the recondition, we normally put a new valve here. This next valve is your pressure regulator valve. Recondition, we normally replace that valve as well, and this switch valve here as well. The valves are aftermarket. They're better designed to combat some of the problems, and there's also some valve body modification we normally do as well. There's a little bit of oil wicking through here, and on this range sensor, same situation where the oil actually is coming from inside here, so it's leaking through it and then coming through here, and that can cause an intermittent electrical problem. We first thought that the overdrive housing, which is this, was cracked because it was all wet on top of here, and it's coated the side of the transmission. This is the driver's side of the transmission, but when taking it apart, we noticed that the gasket is deteriorated. So if you can see, there's spaces in there. That gasket should look like this all the way to the edge. So what we first thought was a problem with the housing being cracked does actually look a lot more like the gasket itself is deteriorated. It was probably leaking through this gasket, which this is on the top there, but this gasket situation is not a normal condition. That's something that we just don't see very much of. So again, the torque converter is going to be bad. Some valve body modifications, a little bit of slippage on the high reverse clutch. Looks like a gasket here. And as I said, Eric and Amanda will contact you, and now you have an idea what's wrong with the inside of your transmission.